History remembers the generals, the emperors, the kings. But what if the greatest acts of bravery went unnoticed? What if history was being told through the eyes of those who had no name, no title, and no glory? Today, we journey into ancient Rome through the eyes of one unlikely hero, a dog who changed the fate of an entire legion. The year was 217 BCE. Rome was at war, fighting the Carthaginians in the rugged hills of Cannae. The legions were disciplined, the standards high, and the soldiers fearless. But amidst this chaos, there was one presence that no general would ever write about in his scrolls: a small, scrappy dog named Lupa. Lupa belonged to Marcus, a young legionary who had been conscripted against his will. The dog was his companion, his confidant, and his secret guardian. While generals planned strategies on maps and soldiers polished their swords, Lupa roamed the camp, sensing danger before anyone else could. Her fur was matted, her ribs slightly visible, but her eyes held a sharp intelligence that no human could match. Every day, she watched. Very night, she listened. The world of soldiers was loud, violent, and unforgiving, yet Lupa moved unseen, always present, but never acknowledged. Lupa's day began before dawn, when the camp was silent except for the occasional snore of a tired soldier. She patrolled the barracks, sniffing out threats, wild animals, hostile spies, even careless soldiers who might compromise the legion's position. She learned the routines of the soldiers. She knew which one would drop his sword at night, which one hid in fear during drills, and which one secretly plotted to desert. Lupa became the invisible eyes and ears of the camp. Her bond with Marcus was special. He had been orphaned young, taken from his village to serve Rome. He spoke little of his fears, but Lupa understood. When Marcus was injured during a training exercise, it was Lupa who nudged him back to consciousness, guided him to water, and even brought him scraps of food stolen from the supply tents. No human noticed, but in that small act, she saved his life. Lupa also watched the children of the legionaries, the sons who occasionally followed their fathers to the camp. She protected them from harm, quietly keeping them safe from roaming animals and accidents that could easily turn fatal. But peace in a war camp is only a pause between storms. One evening, Lupa sensed something unusual. The wind carried a strange scent, foreign soldiers moving quietly along the ridges, spies perhaps, or scouts reporting back to the enemy. She growled, circling the camp, alerting Marcus, who finally noticed her unease. Marcus had learned to trust her instincts. That night, he ordered extra patrols. Unbeknownst to the rest of the legion, Lupa had detected the first signs of the ambush that would come at dawn. No human eyes had seen it. No plan had predicted it. Only the dog's quiet vigilance had prepared them. At first light, the Carthaginians struck. Chaos erupted. Shields clanged, swords clashed, and the air filled with screams and dust. Marcus's cohort found itself isolated, surrounded on three sides. Death was all around, and panic threatened to break the ranks. Amidst the chaos, Lupa ran forward, barking furiously, alerting soldiers to hidden enemy soldiers trying to flank them. She darted between the ranks, dodging swords, guiding soldiers to safe paths, nipping at heels when danger approached. Marcus, inspired by her courage, rallied his men. The soldiers followed her cues without understanding why. They shifted formation, protected the wounded, and countered attacks that would have otherwise overwhelmed them. The legion survived, not only by human strength but by the unseen intelligence and bravery of a single dog. Throughout the battle, Lupa remembered every face, every cry. She recognized those too weak to fight and stayed close, offering silent protection. She became a guardian, a symbol of hope in a sea of blood and dust. When the dust settled, the legion was battered but victorious. Marcus knelt amidst the fallen, holding Lupa, who was blooded but alive. Soldiers cheered, generals praised bravery, and victories were recorded, but not a single record mentioned her. Yet, in the silent corners of Rome, history was made not only by the celebrated, but by the unseen. Lupa's courage had saved countless lives. Her loyalty had guided men through chaos. And though she would never have a statue, never be mentioned in scrolls, her deeds were real and profound. The lesson is clear: the unseen, the nameless, the overlooked, they are often the true architects of history. History is filled with stories like Lupa's, hidden in the shadows, waiting to be told. The next time you read about heroes, remember to look closer and listen to the whispers of the forgotten. Because behind every great victory, there might be a silent guardian you will never know by name.